Hello and welcome back to The Stack, and here are today's top stories. The first story. Yesterday, we brought you news about the January 6th committee hearing, the one that absolutely bombed in TV show ratings. Almost literally no one tuned in to watch the hearing because Americans aren't falling for the sham January 6th committee propaganda that the Democrats and Liz Cheney are pushing to win the midterm elections. Well, now today's January 6th committee hearing has been abruptly postponed in an unusual move. They are moving the committee hearing to, I think, June 16th instead of the 15th now. No one's really sure why the committee's being postponed, but I think it's interesting that it's being postponed not long after the ratings have been absolutely terrible for the committee. Look, I think no one is falling for this sham committee, and maybe the folks on the January 6th committee are starting to realize that, and they're getting worried. So I think it's great that it's postponed, and personally, I think the committee should be postponed forever. And the second story, this is really interesting. A court has issued an unprecedented ruling on a 4G tower after a rancher noticed what was happening to his cows near this tower. Now, this happened in France, so just want to put that out there. But a rancher noticed that his cows were all skin and bones. And he went as far to say that it was enough to make you cry. And he blames a cell phone tower that was constructed in 2021 for his cows looking like that. So an administrative court in France took these claims really seriously and ordered for this 4G tower to be shut down for 2 months to see if there was a change in the cows' condition. So it's going to be really interesting to see what happens to the cows in the next 2 months after this ruling. But, there has been a lot of people that have raised the question whether or not cell phone towers have some effect on people and animals in the vicinity. So I think it's really interesting. We will see what happens to these cows. And the third story, a Soros-funded prosecutor has been removed and disqualified from a case because people realized what she was doing. This is really an interesting case. I think it's glad anytime a Soros-funded prosecutor is off a case because I think George Soros is responsible for a lot of the crime issues in America. But basically, I'll just give you a short summary. The prosecutor was found to be deliberately misleading the court and the public on a case. She was trying to get this guy to take a plea deal and said he was in a bunch of places at once, all committing crimes on the same day. Really bizarre, all in an attempt to get this guy a shorter sentence than the mandatory minimum. So really interesting. I'm glad that the Soros-funded prosecutor has been taken off a case. I think that is great news. So if you want to stay up to date on the latest George Soros news, the latest news on 4G cell phone towers and cows, and the latest news on the sham January 6th committee hearings, you can head to westernjournal.com. And please be sure to like and subscribe so you never miss an episode of The Stack.